What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video. And in today's video, I am going to be bringing you guys another showcase video for one of the Guilty Gear collab characters, and this time around we're going to be taking a look at one of the latest SS characters to be added with said collaboration, and that of course is going to be the fan favorite, Dizzy. But before we go ahead and get into all that, make sure if you guys haven't already done so and you're new here to the channel, that you smash that like button and subscribe. So let's go ahead and briefly talk about Dizzy here, and then we'll go ahead and get into the showcase itself, and I'll let you guys enjoy the footage. So when it comes to Dizzy, so far my early findings with this character are not going to be anything too dissimilar from what everybody else has found with her. She is an absolute DPS machine. I'm going to talk more about what I feel about both of these characters, meaning Ramlethal and Dizzy, when I do the spotlights later on this week. Of course, I always like to do these showcases, that way I can give you guys full unedited footage of these characters' performance and give you some kind of first impressions and some non-commentary showcases before I get into the actual spotlight, where I go in depth, in detail, and break down every little detail I can on these things. So that's pretty much what I try to do with these showcases. Now, with that being said, I am still trying to test quite a few things. When it comes to these collaborations characters, there's so many different characters to be testing at one time that I don't really necessarily have as much time as I would like to sit down and dedicate to any one of them individually. So I am trying to give myself as much time as I can to fully test these, especially considering the fact that I've only had these characters now less than a week, and I still have to sit down and actually play around with May and a couple of these other characters as well. So I'm working on it as best I can, but it is going to definitely take some time. I am planning to try and get the spotlight or review, whatever you want to call it, out for both Ramlethal and Dizzy later on this week. I am rounding up footage for them and trying to prioritize them right now, and then I'll go ahead and move on to BAIKEN and May and so on and so forth. But really, when it comes to Dizzy here, Dizzy isn't going to be that surprising as far as what my thoughts are on her. She is an absolute DPS machine, like I've mentioned. This character is definitely impressive when it comes to being able to output damage, and when I get into that spotlight video, you guys are going to find that I am pretty darn high on this character in general. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to give you guys a showcase video today, so that way you could see kind of what I'm finding with this character. Now, a couple of things. I know a lot of people on that Ramlethal video wanted to know what my build was. So I'm reluctant to put builds in these types of videos outside of my spotlights or other things where I've had actual time to sit down and test cards on characters, because so far, again, being that there's so much to be testing right now, I haven't necessarily had a whole lot of time, or at least as much time as I would like to sit down and test much. So I don't really even necessarily feel comfortable in my own opinion on card sets with these characters right now, because I haven't had a chance to sit down and do DPS tests. I've actually been working with StevenYoo of the Korean KOF AS community recently, with Dizzy in particular, to try and nail down a couple of details as it pertains to the card sets and so on and so forth. But since I know that everybody is going to ask in the comments section, I just figure I'll go ahead and show you what I've been using right now. So in the footage you're about to see, this is the build that I've been using. Now again, guys, I have not had a chance to really sit down and do DPS tests with a lot of these different card sets yet. So for instance, there are a couple I would like to test. The first one would be this one here. I want to test this guy, but I haven't had necessarily a really good chance to yet, but I will get to it. And then this card set here I would also like to test, but again, I haven't had a chance to, and with this one in particular, being that it is not transcended on any of the pieces of that particular set, whereas the rest of these that I've mentioned are, I don't necessarily think it'll be a fair fight, so I don't even know if I'm going to try and test that yet. But in the end, guys, I wanted to show you the build here. Now, if you're wondering, since everybody was asking yesterday, when it comes to that Ramlethal build, I was pretty much using the exact same build, except I had swapped out this particular card here for the Gintama option. So in case you're wondering, that's what I've been using on Ramlethal, so that way you guys know what's going on there. But I did put a pinned comment in that video yesterday, just for everybody that have been asking. And then another thing in particular as it pertains to Dizzy here, is when it comes to the stones, I haven't had a chance to really mess with this yet, but I can use SS stones, of course, being that Dizzy is an SS fighter. So when it comes to that, I don't really have unpairing kits right now, so I can't really move anything around as I would like. However, so that means I'm right now going to just be using the attack stones for the Guilty Gear collab, and then I am going to be using, as you guys can see, the chill stones for my star and my moon stones. I really don't have anything better than that right now. Once I do, I'll upgrade those, but right now all I have is an attack one, and then I am going to have an HP one, so that's pretty much what I've got right now. I'm just working with what I got. So in the end, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and let you watch the footage. Like I said, I will have full reviews or spotlights, whatever you want to call them, for both of these characters later on this week, hopefully, at which point I will go ahead and break down all of the different details that I have been able to research and find out about these characters. But right now, I don't really have as much as I would like because I have been trying to test a lot of different things. But in the end, though, that isn't going to change much in the case of Dizzy. I am pretty hard set when it comes to how I feel about this character. She is an uber tier character that definitely is in the top 5. It just kind of comes down to where her placement is with those characters that have already been released. But honestly, you guys, it really doesn't matter once you get into the uber tier, because those uber tier characters such as this, they're all going to be just amazing when it comes to their performance. So in the end, it really doesn't matter. Pick your poison, whichever character fits your needs or fits what it is you're trying to accomplish. That's kind of the route you go, because in the end, these damage nukes, they all tend to be pretty similar when it comes to what they're trying to do. So that's pretty much how I feel about it. But I do definitely love Dizzy. I love this character. I'm really impressed by her. I just wanted to go ahead and put a quick disclaimer here at the beginning before I got into the footage. Now, I do have quite a bit of footage this time around. We're going to be taking a look at not only this character's performance in Guild Raid Omega Rugal, but also her performance in Lunatic difficulty against Nightmare Geese. And as you guys will see, yeah, she's a boss. So with all that being said, you guys, look forward to the spotlights later on this week. I will get those out to you, but I just wanted to go ahead and clear that up for people. And oh, by the way, somebody's gonna ask in the comments section, so I'll just go ahead and show it real quick. For those of you who have not been paying attention, this is going to be my fame. So I know I try to show this every once in a while here, but for those of you who haven't seen it in a while, this is what I'm rocking when it comes to my fame, because I know somebody's going to ask about that as well. So there you go, you guys. Like I said, we'll get into more details on all of this stuff once I'm able to get the spotlights together and fully break these down. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here and let you guys enjoy the showcase. So with that being said, like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the show. Peace.
Continue.